Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, the unholy trinity of the universe. Your religion is a hoax. Read the proof in your own Bible. You're about to discover 12 of the nonsensical acts which are written in either the Torah, the Bible, or the Quran. These quotes are not taken out of context. They were taken verbatim from the holy books. Point 1. Genesis 1, 3, 6, 9, 14, and 20. These are different verses which include quotations of what God was saying and doing while he was creating the world. If there wasn't any human creation during that time of his initial 5 days of creating, who was there recording what God was saying and doing at that time? Who wrote the first words of the Bible? God didn't dictate them to Moses or anyone else. Point 2. Genesis 1, 27-28. On the sixth day, God created male and female in his image, blessed them, and told them to be fruitful and multiply. Chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. After the creation of the first unnamed male and female, God rested on the seventh day. Chapter 2, verse 7. After the seventh day, God formed Adam from the dust of the ground. Much later, he made Eve from the rib of Adam. According to the previous verses in the Bible, any and everyone should be able to realize that Adam and Eve were not the first man and woman, and they are not the mother and father of civilization. They were formed after the first male and female, which God created on the sixth day. Point 3. Genesis 2:16. God told a lie. He commanded Adam not to eat from the tree of knowledge. He said, "The day you eat of that tree, you will surely die." Adam ate from the tree, and he did not die that day. Don't listen to the religious pushers who will tell you Adam died spiritually that day. The spirit can't die, only the mind and the body dies. Point 4. Matthew 24, verses 29, 30, and 34. Jesus told a lie to his disciples. He lied about the destruction of the world and his return. He told his disciples they would see the sun darkened, the moon would not give light, the stars would fall from heaven, and they would see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. He said this would happen in their generation. What a big liar! Their generation passed many generations ago, and his predictions did not happen. Point 5. Within the Bible, there are discussions of hell, angels, and the devil. But there isn't any creation of hell, no creation of angels, and no creation of the devil. Some lying religious leaders will tell you that the serpent in the Garden of Eden is the devil. If this is true, then God told another lie, because he told the serpent that he was condemned to crawl on his belly and eat dust for the rest of his life. In the book of Job 1, verse 6, and Job 2, verse 1, you will find the devil having 2 casual meetings with God. He couldn't get up to heaven crawling on his belly. Also, 1 Peter 5, verse 8, states that the devil is walking or prowling around like a roaring lion. If the devil is a snake, then God is a liar. Point 6. Exodus 24:12. The Lord said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain, and while you are there, I will give you the stone tablets on which I have written the commandments intended for their instruction." These commandments were called negative confessions and existed in Egypt thousands of years before they were plagiarized by the God of the Hebrews, who copied 10 of these laws and gave them to Moses for his people. The Hebrew Jews lived in Egypt for 430 years. It was impossible for them not to realize the existence of these laws. Point 7. Genesis 12:10-20. Abraham lied that his wife was his sister and pimped her to obtain wealth and riches from the Pharaoh. Chapter 20, verse 1-18. Abraham lied again, using the same story, and pimped his wife, this time to King Abimelech, in order to obtain more riches. Chapter 21, verse 9. Abraham became the world's first deadbeat dad when he abandoned his first son, Ishmael. The God of the Bible condoned these evil acts of Abraham and his wife Sarah. Point 8. The Jesus story is a total myth. Read Matthew 2, 3-20. These verses state that baby Jesus was sent into Egypt by God to protect his life from King Herod. Later, God sent a message that the king had died and it was safe to bring Jesus out of Egypt. Now read Luke 2, verses 4 through 40. These verses indicate that baby Jesus was not taken into Egypt for protection. He remained in his country, and there isn't any mention of his life being in danger. Were these two writers inspired by God and couldn't agree whether baby Jesus was taken to Egypt or not? If you research throughout history, you will discover that there wasn't any death of any king named Herod during the lifespan of the mythical Jesus. King Herod the Great died before the birth of the mythical Jesus. His sons who succeeded him died after the death of the mythical Jesus. The Jesus story is only a fairy tale. Point 9. The religion of Islam teaches Allah is one and did not have any helpers in his creative efforts. But if you read the Quran and the following surahs, you will discover this is a lie. Read Surah 15, verse 9, Surah 18, verse 9, and Surah 90, verses 8 through 10. Within these surahs, Allah admitted that he had helpers in performing his creations. Point 10. Did the mythical Jesus die on a cross or a tree? Within the books of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, it is indicated that Jesus died hanging on a cross. Now read 1 Peter chapter 2, 21 through 24, Acts 5, 29 through 31, and Acts 10, 38 through 40, Acts 13, 28 through 31, which indicate that the mythical Jesus died hanging on a tree. Anyone with common sense can understand that a cross is not a tree. A cross is usually made from the wood of a tree. So who is telling the truth and who is lying? Is it possible that the Jesus story is just a terrible religious hoax? Point 11. Psalms 82:1 states that God is in the congregation of the gods and judges among the gods. If the God of the Bible is in the congregation of the gods and judges among the gods, common sense dictates that he is not the only God of the universe. Point 12. Did Jesus shed blood for your salvation? Yes or no? Within the following books and verses which describe the crucifixion of Jesus, Matthew 27, 33 through 54, Mark 15, 22 through 39, and Luke 23, 33 through 47, not one drop of blood from Jesus was shed. But the book of John 19:34 reads, "But one of the soldiers came with a spear, pierced the side, and forthwith came there out blood and water." Within these four Gospels, are there 3 lies and 1 truth? 1 lie and 3 truths? Or do we have 4 lies and no truth? In conclusion, the majority of humanity would rather live a lie than accept the truth. My advice to the young and old, don't get addicted to religious traditions. If you're already addicted, kick the habit by avoiding the religious pushers and their houses of worship. Search for ways to develop your spiritual gift, which you were endowed with at birth. The information cited above is just the tip of the iceberg of lies, deceptions, and contradictions which the religious pushers are preaching as the truth and nothing but the truth. You can view more information on the religious hoax at www.revealingbiblelies.com.